Hi guys, I just thought I'd do a bit of explaining what our sculpture was doing, what we were sort of doing it about. We're approached to do something that's typical Norfolk. We want to create something on the Norfolk coast for the Heritage Sculpture Trail, and it had to sum up basically the things that you most remember about walking around the Norfolk coast. So what we done was I went out with a little girl and Maxine, and we wandered around, and most of our memories of Wells and the Norfolk coast were we used to camp there and eat Samphire and bacon sandwiches, have a good time playing in the sand. So what I've done, I've scaled up the photograph to Samphire. We picked a nice one and we scaled it up so it's about 15 foot high, and you'll see in this video how I've made it. I've more work to do. We've sort of finished that. I've got another sculpture that I'll probably do some videos on and take some photos for you guys to have a look at anyway, so I hope you enjoy what I've done. Well, I've designed the whole thing, we've scaled it up, we've used recycled hydraulic rams, so I'm trying to be a bit greener on it, and I've even blasted it, coated it in bronze myself. So I hope you enjoy this video and go through it. I've some photographs that we'll put in with it of the Samphire when I bent down and we sort of photographed it, and they're a funny looking plant, they're quite weird, but it was a wacky bit of fortune to do, so I hope you enjoy it. Here you go, there's the start point that we showed you, the hydraulic rams, and then the forge start. We've been doing all this crazy forging. As you see, we've nearly finished all the forge work. It's all Texas forged on a 500 weight Massey hammer called Arthur, which was made in 1955, and I think it came from Ray Roll originally, but there's some of the work that we've done. I'll pick up one of the big bars, I'll show you how big it is. There you go, this is some of the big section hydraulic bar that we're forging, and it's up to 5 inches thick. People say you get wiser when you get older, but I don't think so. The older we get, the bigger our forging becomes and the more heavy the work is. I'll show you a bit forged look. This is it after we've forged it and we've textured it all to look like the Samphire stalk. We put it in our oil furnace. I'm using recycled oil, so I'm using clean oil, but it's half kerosene and half diesel. Try and be a bit more environmental friendly. There's hardly any emissions off of it. It burns 4 gallons an hour, and it takes about 3/4 of an hour to heat a stock bar up when we load the furnace. There's the Samphire finished. What we've got to do now is we're ready at the stage for cleaning up, grinding and getting ready to bronze coat. Oh yeah, welcome back to part 3 of finishing the Samphire. We're going to blast it on a mega hot day, so I'm here sweating like mad on probably the hottest day of the year. What I'm going to do today is, this is part of the testing for our coating. It's part of the Samphire, but we're just trying out different coatings on it, and I'm going to blast it. So I'm going to hit it with copper slag at about 150 psi, 130 psi, and that'll take all the scale off and it'll rough it all up ready for metallisation. So this is part of the Samphire, and you can see when you zoom into it that all the surface is now all rusted. It's all hit with the blasting and it's all roughed up. So it's like loads of little teeth on it. So it'll grip onto the bronze coating when we finished it. So the whole Samphire will be brought here. We're going to blast the whole thing, but it's just our test part at the moment. But you'll see the big Samphire later when it's finished. On, you'll have to check it if you don't know how. Here we go, look, there's a Metco metallisation gun. It's the latest Metco gun, and what we do is we put the bronze wire through the middle. That's oxypropane. It melts the wire, then it fires it through on a flame, and then it will spit it onto the surface like a load of little cow pads. It's a mechanical fixing. So what it does is when we blasted the object, it's all spiky and rough surface, and then the metal atomises, it vaporises out the end, comes out like a little cow pat, hits the surface, splats, hooks on, and it locks on like a load of fish scales all over the surface. And that's the size of the wire that goes through it. Surface, it's metallized, it's vaporized, and it's quite hot. It's stuck to the surface, and I've now got about 1 millimetre of bronze coated over the steel core, and it's all locked on. And what we can do is we can polish this up later, or what we're going to do on this is we're not going to polish it and lacquer it. We're going to put an etch on it. We're going to seal it up, and then we're going to rub it back a little bit, but then we're going to try and patinate it. So I'll put some copper sulphate on it and some etching solution, and we'll rub it on, and over time in the rain it should go all green. Yeah, so what we do tomorrow is I'm going to try and patinate it, and once I've proven that the coating is going to last, then we're going to do the complete Samphire, and then we'll be craning it in, so you'll be able to go next to the Harbour Master's office at Wells and go and have a look at it. And we're going to crane it in. It'll be on a big concrete slab, so you'll see with the other film and the other photos of it finished, it's pretty enormous. This is just part of a tester for the top section. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that and enjoyed watching the video. There's a lot more things I'm going to send in anyway, but I thought we'd just get the ball rolling and give you something to look at. So it's good fun to make. Alright, see ya.